I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. All right, short message from my number one sponsor, NetSuite. Here's the deal. If you're a business owner, you don't need them, NetSuite, to tell you it's tough to run a business, because it is, right? We all know that. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle. They're the world's number one cloud-based business system. They give you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. You want to join over 24,000 companies using NetSuite right now. So schedule a free product tour now at netsuite.com/school. That's netsuite.com/school. I want to talk about something that has to do with really ensuring your success. And the way you do that is by examining your standards, your personal standards when it comes to money, success, wealth. And when you do that, you have to focus on one specific thing. And here's what it is. Are my personal standards congruent with my vision for the future? In other words, there are these two competing aspects of success. One is your vision for the future. You have to have a vision for the future that's bold and bright and clear, and that it makes you jump out of bed in the morning to go and seize that vision, to go and achieve it, right? And it also has to have an integrated why, meaning why does the vision matter to you? And remember, it can't just be about money. Your vision has to be a visceral animal almost that just like sort of just envelops you and just pushes you out of bed each morning and just, lets you go through those barriers and obstacles and challenges that always pop up along the way, and keep focused on that vision. And I always say that people who having trouble motivating themselves, they lack a powerful why. They haven't integrated that why into their vision for the future. So make sure you have that vision that's bold, bright, and clear, that makes you jump out of bed, and it has to have a fully integrated why. That's one aspect, right? But now let's move on to the other aspect, which is your personal standards, meaning what level of wealth or success must you have? What will you not settle for less than? What level that if you were below it would just literally make you freaking miserable, like you just couldn't go on, you'd be obsessed with making more money, you'd be obsessed with taking action, you would do anything, you would make everything else in your life subordinate to making X amount of money, having X amount of success in life. What is that level? Now, here's the deal. I've already told you that this is crucial in the past, and other trainings I've done, how crucial it is to identify what your personal standards are, and if necessary, raise those standards. But the question today is, well, how do I know whether I should raise them or not? Are my standards high enough to ensure my success? And here's the answer. It comes down to, does it support your vision? In other words, if you have a bold, bright, and incredibly robust vision for the future, right, and your standards are low, that's like a lack of congruency. There's dissonance there. Essentially, you have like a champagne vision and beer standards. Not going to work. Okay, so what you'll end up being is one of these like hapless dreamers who goes and imagines my life being so great, but you never take fucking action. That's what the result of that is. Flip side of the equation is if you have, not a very bold, bright vision for the future, but you have this really high standard to make money. You want to make a lot of money, but you don't really have this vision of how you're going to do it and what it's going to look like. So what you find is that you're almost locked in the daily grind every single day. You're not motivated. You're one of these achiever types that all you do is work, work, work. You're like chasing your tail like a fucking gerbil, running around on a treadmill, or a mouse chasing its tail, so to speak, right? Or a dog chasing its tail, whatever the metaphor is, many of them, right? The point is that case you have basically a beer vision and champagne standards. And that leads also to dissonance. The key is, and it starts with what's your vision for the future. You got to start there and work backwards then into a standards check. Make sure that your standard, that what you must have, and be honest with yourself. Say, listen, I know I have this vision for the future, but is that really me? Is that really what I demand of myself? Can I live without that? Let me tell you something. If in your mind, you're saying, I love to have this, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, no big deal. That's not empowering. That's not going to make you jump out of bed each morning. That's not going to give you the emotional wherewithal, the backbone to jump out of bed and overcome any barrier, obstacle that ends up standing in your way or getting thrown at you, because they always get thrown at you as you're going for the brass ring, right? Without those standards being congruent with the vision, you're not going to end up achieving it. So again, standard has to match vision. Starting with vision, and then you do a standards check. And ask yourself that honest question. Again, this is with the other trainings I've done, so I'm not going to go through the process of how you identify your own standard, right? We've already been through that. Okay, you all own the straight line system by now, right? I mean, I think everyone does as part of this, I believe. And those of you who don't, you should own it. It's unbelievable training. And in fact, I'll work out, for those who don't know, I'll work out a major discount. I think you all own it. Anyway, so here's the deal. If your standard turns out to be too low, I mean, it doesn't support your vision, it's not congruent, then you have to link pain to your current standard and then create a new standard and link pleasure to it, meaning identify the 3 things that just, are the worst outcomes that you couldn't live with in your life, link that to your current standard, and then say, what are the 3 most important values for me? Things that I just will make me just so happy. And link that positive values to your higher standards. And again, this is part of a different training, but the point is today, on a Monday, I want you to make sure that you do that standards check, because this is one of those things that can silently be a killer of success, sabotage you as you go along. You take 3 steps forward, 2 steps backwards, you're not sure why, and it's because there's no congruency between your inner game, the different pillars of your inner game. There are 4 pillars in all. The 2 that we're talking about today are vision and standards. They have to be congruent. All right, I love you all. Let's have a great week, and we will talk again tomorrow morning. Take care.